Hello everyone, I'm Parth Pandya and this film, Affairs of Friendship, is the first film I wrote.
Hey guys, this is Chirag Gopiyani. First of all, thank you so much for all the response you have been giving to our short films.
As you all know, me, Chirag and Smit have started this production around February. At that time, we had two scripts ready, Prism and Affairs of Friendship. Now, Chirag wanted Prism to be our first short film, so he asked me if I'm okay with it. I quickly said yes, because I had no problem with that. His family and you don't say no to your family. So we went with Prism and we started with a bang.
Affairs of Friendship is my first short film as a director. I personally feel that directing a film is quite difficult than the writing. Because as a director, you need to bring out characters from the screenplay in a way that it should feel genuine and authentic to the audience.
When I was writing this script, I had different outcomes in my mind. In the first draft, the story was quite simple as it was more emotional and focused on characters' relationship with each other only, but then I made some changes and prepared another draft. I told that second draft to Smit and Chirag and they quickly liked it. The element of recognition added a lot to the story, and I think second draft was far better than the first because it relies heavily on emotions.
Directing this short film was a learning experience for me. Affairs of Friendship seems light in terms of story, but it gets darker and darker as it moves further. I think if you truly love story and screenplay as a director, then transformation from screenplay to screen will be much easier. As a director, biggest challenge for me was to bring out dream sequences and then its respective reality sequences. Because we wanted audience to understand that what happened in dreams is actually happening in reality. The connection between dreams and the reality is the key element of this story.
The element of Uncharted game fits perfectly in the story because to me, as a gamer, that moment between Sam and Nathan perfectly describes what betrayal means. Recognition is my way of telling a story in which you know that something is going to happen and you have the chance to change it. So the question is, are you willing to do that? In the film, Prem stopped everything and saved Veer, but jealousy built up and in Veer's dream, Prem kills him. So I tried to deliver a solid sci-fi and emotional plot, perfectly balanced, and I think the outcome is pretty good.
In production meeting, Parth presented charts and storyboard that he has prepared. He pointed out highlights of character developments, and I really feel that it helped me understand as a director how I need to show the growth of each character. When Parth told me the story for the first time, I was quite confused as to how we are gonna put the element of Uncharted game into this short film. But he convinced me that emotion behind that scene will match exactly with our story.
Chirag did a great job as a director. He's also a great actor and probably the best of our production house. He shared his knowledge with us on the set and presented my vision on screen exactly as I wanted. We have a great understanding. We designed each scene before shooting. The scene where Prem kills Veer in an elevator was one of the best scenes of this movie. We rehearsed it in the afternoon and shot it at night, and it took us only 3 takes. From top to bottom, everything about that scene was picture perfect.
When we shot Prism, there wasn't any rehearsal session, but for this we had to organize it because some scenes were quite complicated to shoot and act, like in a scene where I was choking Parth to death. I think the process becomes easier when a director and a cinematographer have a great mutual understanding between them.
When I write a story, I decide who's going to play which character. To be honest, our whole team wasn't sold on the idea of Smith playing Neil, but I was very confident because I know Smith so well that I was 100% sure that he's going to pull it off. It wasn't our team's fault because the character of Neil is so different than Smith, and it was a challenge for him to play a spoiled brat because he's nothing like that. That's why everyone was worried, but Smith exceeded everyone's expectations and delivered a strong performance. Everyone was great, but Smith was the MVP of this film, and I think he improved a lot after his performance in Prism.
Hello, I am Smit Kalyani. First of all, I would like to clarify how hard it was for me to portray Neil because I am nothing like that at all. It was completely different personality that I had to adapt. When Parth first told me that I had a longer role in terms of length and screen time than Prism, I was so excited. This character of Neil was kind of important, although he wasn't the one who had a dream, but the event was happening because of him. It was very challenging for me to play Neil, and I think people really liked my portrayal. Reviews were amazing, and I am very thankful for that. The support and response we have been receiving for our every short film has been delightful. When we were shooting, the hardest part for me was mine and Parth's physical altercation, where I choked him to death. It was fun shooting that, but it also took few hours to get it done. It was very hard to pull that scene off because I had to show my anger, but I was practicing that scene for several days before our shoot. It was a team effort. Everyone delivered their 100% in that scene. There are 2 or 3 car scenes, and according to the story, Neil has his own car. But in reality, I don't know how to drive, so Parth justified in a different way. Like for an example, in one scene, Neil and Veer hugged and sorted out their matter. Neil tells Veer to drive the car, so it was a perfect justification why all the time Veer was driving the car. It shows how strong the Veer and Neil's friendship is. There were a lot of difference between the shooting of Prism and a phase of friendship because this time we had to take a lot of precautions because of COVID-19. We were wearing masks, we were using sanitizers and sanitized everything we used. The process was tough because of coronavirus. At first it was awful, but we got used to it. So I think overall it was a memorable experience.
Another interesting fact is that Parth and Saurav were just messing around with music software, and eventually at one point they decided to compose a music for our 2 important scenes, and those 2 background musics matched perfectly with the pace of those scenes.
Hello, this is Saurav Agravat. I played Om in a phase of friendship. It was my first time being on the camera. Now, lot of people might not know, but I have one line in Prism. I am the one who gave voice as paramedic. This was my acting debut. Om is a character who is very fond of sleep. Sleeping is his gift. Om is the kind of guy who is the glue of the group. He holds them together. He takes friendship very seriously. He is sweet and kind. When the argument between Veer and Neil started heating up, he tried to calm them down, but Neil shuts him down. It shows how much caring Om is.
Now the interesting thing is that it was Saurav's first time being on the camera. We were blown away when we saw his first dialogue in the opening scene. I knew he was practicing, but I never expected him to be that good. His character, Om, was very kind and sympathetic, and after watching him as Om, I think you'll see more of him in future, and I'm kind of excited to see him grow into a better actor.
In the first scene, when Veer makes fun of Om and then everybody laughs, it makes Om angry. My dialogue immediately after that was done on 3rd day. I am very proud of that because it was my first time and everybody appreciated me.
The process of making these short films takes time. Every weekend our whole team gets together, and this is happening since June because as per our schedule we are 1 film behind, so we have to cover up that time. The lockdown affected us in a hard way, but now we are back on track. But it is still hard to shoot though because we have to maintain safety protocols, but safety is our first priority, so no complaints there. So I hope you are staying safe. Thank you.